welcome back, everyone. That was a nice 2 weeks in between episodes. Or
it took me 2 weeks to eat that one loaf of food that I just ate.
Let's roll them dice and tell me what the fuck happened last time.
I rolled a 6.
If anybody D20s me again, or like nat 20s me again, I'm gonna be pissed.
I got a nat 20.
Oh my god!
Do it again. Colin jinxed herself. Do it again.
I got no love.
Do I even have to?
Colin, do it again. Do it again.
Do I have to
do it again?
Why? What did I do? Why?
Do it again.
Okay, tell me what happened.
Previously on Dice Populi, we realized that sending Kalt in to manipulate people at a card game was dumb, so we sent Jedda and Locke with their flies, their spy flies, coming this summer. Kalt and Bottle Brew are planning to prove that this place is corrupt and cheating its patrons as leverage against Zula Ragnor, just in case. Kalt achieves the beginnings of this plan by modifying the memory of a guard into believing that we are inspectors here in this lawless, unregulated land. I can't wait for that cognitive dissonance to kick in once he starts thinking real hard about what he's doing. Bottle Brew says he has an idea, sprints away in a totally reasonable and undisputed amount of time that it would take to cross that physical distance before returning to the dice game, where Jedda is not really on very much of a hot streak, and we end with Locke saying, boy, I hope things are going better with the other guys, because it's not going great down there.
I was going famously with us.
Just to check in with the credits, how much money have you lost, Jedda?
70.
70, yeah.
Okay, well, not good, not great.
I've got a plan. Don't worry.
I'm sure you do. After an indisputed amount of time, Bottle Brew returns back to Kalt and the guard, who have been waiting more than 30 seconds to...
More than 30 seconds, for sure.
For him to return.
Bottle Brew is sweating and huffing quite a bit. He's like, okay, I got a fresh pair of shoes. You can have me roll deception on that if you want. But I got a fresh pair of shoes. I'm ready to go.
Did you actually get new shoes?
That would have messed with your old time thing. Easily 2 minutes.
It would have, yeah. So, I mean, I think he would have forgotten and not gotten new shoes.
Then yes, go ahead and roll deception for me.
My deception modifier is plus 11. So that is a 2 plus 11. That's a 13.
Okay, great. The guard just kind of nods at you, clearly more focused on Kalt, the true investigator here. He says,
okay, shall we proceed down to the operations center?
Yeah, let's go. That sounds great. And as he's gasping for air, Bottle Brew is going to nudge Kalt and show that he is carrying 2 sending stones. And as they follow the guy away, he's going to leave one of the sending stones with the sad sack at the slot machine he was talking to. As a way
can you roll
to
sleight of hand for me for that?
Absolutely, I can. Oh, one of like the 2 things I don't have proficiency in. Incredible. But it's a 16 plus 1. That's a 17.
17?
Oh, minus 1. 15. Shit.
Oh, okay.
Fuck me.
Okay. Shoot. As you leave the stone there, the drunk patron... I'm just going to roll that again because he's drunk. Okay. Yeah. So he kind of looks over. He's like, oh, that's a cool rock. And then just kind of turns away and continues drinking away his problems. As the guard leads you to...
Studs? Is that Studs?
Don't worry about it.
Okay.
I have a range of like 5 voices, okay? Fuck off.
It didn't sound like Studs, but I'm like, I mean, we've heard Kalt and Entrenched. What if Studs survived everything and is just lost all his friends and this is how he lives his life now?
Wouldn't be surprised. So the guard leads you guys to the door and says,
after you.
Thank you. Very important.
So the guard follows the 2 of you down the stairs to the narrow hallway that we described before, with the pink jewel door at the end. The ball guard is just kind of hanging out down there, reading something. I don't know. And you can see the metal door with the operations sign on the right-hand side. The guard says,
Yep, just I was right in here. You can see through that door. That's where we manage all of the casino games, and basically just keep an eye on everything here.
And to be clear, by manage them, keep an eye on them, do you mean to say that you are ensuring they are running fairly and equitably for all participants?
The guard looks to Kalt and says,
Your intern is quite outspoken.
Lackey. It's okay. I'm going to pat Bottle Brew on the head. You're going to get college credit for this. You don't have to do more than... You don't have to pretend. That just watch, Master. So I assume behind this door, could we take a look at the way that you preserve equity and equality in gaming in here?
the guard says,
Of course, right this way.
he opens the door. Inside the room, you see 3 other security guards. They are all... it looks like they're working almost like a DJ panel, sort of, with a whole bunch of like buttons and dials. On the wall, right across from when you walk in, you can see what almost looks like a bunch of fish bowls. But as you look through the fish bowls, you can see different parts of the floor above you. You see the people standing by the hammer station, talking and trying to like wave people over. You see the sad person sitting at the bar there, but you can't see the sending stone somehow. And then you see other people playing games. The guard says,
This is where the magic happens.
Very curious. So you is there sound coming from this as well?
There's no sound, no.
Interesting. You're capturing images. This is quite exquisite. So if you could go through and explain your processes, that would be most adequate.
Okay.
Let's start with this hammer game. It intrigued me on the floor. I've not seen that in other casinos.
Not to speak out of turn, sir, but I believe I saw a very burly fellow play the game and lose. He seems certainly stronger than the folks that won immediately after. Perhaps you could describe the mechanism so that I can bring that knowledge back to my course instructors.
Well, we'd hate for trade secrets to get out, but I will tell you this. All of those people there work here. They're not just random passerbyers.
Interesting. Are they like security folks, just plain clothed, or?
Sure, yes.
May I ask how
gotcha.
perhaps they are able to win the game so easily despite their employment status?
We can basically control if the bell rings or not from down here. Somebody's watching.
I will say it's not very equitable and fair, but very clever. And I'm going to put my finger on my nose and
as long as the profits come in, then we're sure that any sort of, review by this equity board will pass with flying colors.
Yes, of course. The money is always... You do know the standards. It's about 1,000 gold per letter grade. If you want an A++, it's 10 grand. But, if you actually run a fair casino, you can get that just off of merit. So it is fair in a way.
He continues to describe the other ways that they manipulate the games. Like some dice are, I don't want to say magnetic, but they can basically control which ones are getting rolled, altering which decks are, which the next cards and decks, stuff like that.
So it's known that mage lordships keep spellcasters to keep certain aspects of their operation rolling that plain folk cannot. Do you happen to have similarly skilled individuals here? I'm wondering where someone like myself might apply in the future in case this fucking career path doesn't pan out.
Oh, with that attitude, it surely will not.
We can talk with the captain to see about getting you an early internship, possibly.
I'm going to see, do I see if the high stakes section is visible here?
Yes. Why, yes, it is.
Ooh, I'm going to take a look. Does it seem like Jedda is having a good time or a bad one?
Oh, no. It looks like the captain is having a great time. Jedda does not look very, very happy. It looks like a view from... as if it's coming from above the doorway in there.
Does it does it seem like the outcome is being manipulated in the same way as other games, or is this like a fair, square game?
I mean, you could ask.
Sure, so this I'm very interested. This is the High Rollers room, and it seems to be. Is this also controlled by your various machinations, or is this a game of games?
We tend to keep that as straight as it goes, especially when the captain is dealing with friends or guests or the High Rollers. She believes that everybody deserves a fighting chance.
Oh, so this is all fair. So you couldn't necessarily manipulate the outcome from this room in that one?
I mean, we could, but there's really...
Cool. Interesting.
She basically would have her heads if we do so.
Now, I have a very deep question to ask you, Matt. Do these goons just look like regular old goons, or do they look like high-tier, very professional soldier goons that might be trouble if you were to just summarily try and execute them?
The goons, they all look burly. That was the way I had described them before.
They all look burly.
Well, it's Mr. Dr. Jolt, Professor, Sir. So it almost sounds as though the dynamic here in this lawless place is that those with plenty of wealth get a fair shake at success, but those without are cheated and kept at an arm's length. Is that sort of the goal I'm picking up here?
I think he's talking to Kalt. He said Mr. Jolt.
Yes.
Why would you say that to me? I'm the
Well, you are my. I am your protege. I'm looking to understand the world in which you operate.
Well, I can't give you that until I've given my score. And of course, money talks and everything else walks. So I do not know if this establishment is fair or not, because I have yet to receive. Well, the final round of the test is a coin. If they have enough coin, I give them a fair score.
That certainly makes sense.
Without drawing attention to it, can I... perception, investigation, whatever, look at the screens and try to see what's going on with the sad sack? Is he reacting to this? Are other people hearing this broadcast from the stone? I want to see if I'm having an effect up there.
Sure, you can roll perception. And I'm going to roll perception for the guy to see if he's actually listening or paying attention.
That's a 13.
I got a 4. So he is too deep in his woes and his bottle.
Noticing that there's no reaction from the guy, I'm just gonna start furiously, like in my pocket, tapping the sending stone, trying to get his attention.
Okay, so the guard looks over to Professor Jolt and is like,
"Well, I know you guys sure do love to take a little bit off the top there, but anything for your emperor, am I right?"
Of course, you know how it is. Our emperor is, well, great man, just beautiful, strong shoulders, even. I met him once, just pecs like nobody's business. Just feet
Bottle Brew's brow is furrowing so hard right now.
Legs that just go all the way to the floor.
Don't most legs, never mind.
Right. Well, the vault just happens to be kept in the captain's chambers. If you'd like to come with me.
If you wouldn't mind, I would like to leave my protege here. This part of the business he has not earned his stripes for yet.
Professor, you're so considerate. I can't wait to see what kind of wonderful accommodations we'll have set up for you back on the ship.
Exactly. So, protege, if you wouldn't mind learning how this control panel works from these other guards, and perhaps you could, maybe they'll let you manipulate a game or two. And I'll say this with a wink.
I'm sorry, the guard says to you. He says, "I'm sorry, we're busy running this casino here. We're not teachers. That's your job, Professor."
It is of no worry. I will mind my station and learn what I can. You go about your business.
I'm sorry, we're really not comfortable with you staying back here without supervision.
To be fair, I'm not comfortable with him either, but I guess he can come along.
Okay.
Okay, one last look as I leave the room. Have I caught the guy's attention by tapping on the sending stone?
You have not.
Okay. Okay.
Whose attention are you trying to grab with these? There was
a sad loser of slots who was very inebriated, that I'm trying to I handed him the sending stone, hoping that he would overhear the admission of deception so that I could radicalize the people upstairs, and nobody's fucking listening. Yeah, man, I needed other people to know about it. But I mean, hey, now we know that there's a surveillance system. Bottle Brew didn't know video cameras existed until 2 minutes ago, okay?
Well,
he did the best
it's
he
not
could.
necessarily video, but yeah.
You know what I mean.
This might seem like a little hole in the brain, but what was our initial purpose in coming here? We wanted what did we want? Was it money?
Information from Zula Ragnor on fleet deployments. We need to know how to get past the Mage Lords.
Gotcha. Mm-hmm. Well, if something like that is around, it will be in the vaults. So I think this is a solid idea.
Yeah, Bottle Brew absolutely follows. He's just sad that his first plan isn't working.
Yeah. So meanwhile, while all that is happening in security and operations, the games continue in the captain's chambers. Zula looks over to Jedda and says, "Another round, hun?"
You know what? I think my luck's gonna turn around. Let's go another round.
Okay. You know the rules. Roll 5d6 and add up the scores. 3s don't count as anything. Ooh, okay.
Oh, finally.
The dice spill out onto the table. The Dragonborn looks thoroughly dejected with the slew of 5s on his dice, resulting in a roll of a 20. The Captain Zula looks she looks a little worried as she glances at the others with her final score of 15. The elven woman looks very, very upset with her total score of 20. And Jedda, your score is finally lower than everybody else's, narrowly edging out the captain with a score of 14.
Let's go!
Zula claps her hands and says, "Oh, so much fun, isn't this? Well done, well done. And I'm so sorry, my friends. Better luck next time." The Dragonborn champion slams his fist onto the table and storms out, leaving the elven woman at the table. As he walks out, he walks past a Professor Jalt and Bottle Brew being led in by a guard.
They're coming into this room now?
They are coming into
us?
this room now, yes.
I'd go fucking just super stiff, trying not to look at them, just staring straight ahead.
Zula would recognize Bottle Brew, wouldn't she? Or Kalt?
It's funny you mention that. She looks over to the two of them and says, Oh, Captain, my captain. What brings you to my chambers?
I'm going to shove him over to and keep on walking with the guard.
Excuse me, guard. Hold on. Why did you bring these two down here?
Matt, you did ask your own character a question.
Yeah, it's your own character.
Well, okay, yep. So thank you for pointing that out. I'll leave that pause in there. The guard says,
Well, I was told that you told me earlier that I had to, show the inspectors around, and now we're paying them so that we can, keep going.
And the captain looks thoroughly confused and is staring daggers at you, Bottle Brew.
Modified memory on her. Is she within 30 feet?
Yeah, we're in a cramped hall.
So I told them this before. There are 2 other guards in the room.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
There is the one that led you in. There is the captain. And then all of you. Are you sure you want to do this, Ryan?
Are you sure about this?
I'll say this. Bottle Brew at this point recognizes Kalt's itchy trigger finger about to fire off a modified memory spell. I think Bottle Brew will pretty comfortably, knowing Zula Ragnor, jump in and say, well, I suppose there's no harm in telling you now. And he reveals the sending stone and he says, we have gained a pretty good sense of how this place is run. And unfortunately, everybody upstairs has a good idea of how it's run too. Now, if you'd like to maintain your reputation, I think we can arrange that with an amicable trade of assistances.
I invite you onto my ship as guests, and this is how you treat me, even after all these years when I gave you the liberty? What happened to you, Shelwick?
I'm trying to decide whether or not, like, if this is, like, supposed to be a bit... I guess I'm the one that decides how to roleplay it. Hold on, let me think about this for a second.
That is, in fact, accurate.
Yep. No, yeah. Sorry, my brain flipped into DM mode for a second, and I confused myself.
Stop it.
Yeah, I know. That's not my fucking job. Bottle Brew steps forward and says...
And you used to be so caring about the underfolk, about the people that needed help. I wouldn't have my ship without that, Zula Ragnor. But this, the exploitation, the cheating, you're always out for yourself. I thanked you aplenty for the assistance you gave me and my captain, but I'm afraid that you aren't that person anymore. And if you're out for yourself, I'm gonna be out for everyone else. All I want is the information. There's no need to break you down any further.
I need you to roll deception.
While this is going on, I'm out to call. They were totally fucking.
Yeah, they made the beast with two backs for shorthand.
21.
21. Okay. And this was deception on that everybody knows what's going on here.
Everything else was earnest, but yeah, the fact that everyone else is aware, Bottle Brew has no evidence of that.
Yes. She looks at all of you and says, well, I suppose you're all working with him too, aren't you? You're not actually here to have fun.
Not me. I actually was unaware of these plans.
I'm gonna mumble under my breath. It's kind of hard to have fun when everything's worked against you, but
I'm just here to inspect a casino and to check out the money.
Right. Okay, Captain.
Wait, were you all planning this? I'm feigning ignorance, by the way.
Were you planning this the whole time? Oh no! Why would I come here with such despicable people?
Oh, jeez, guys, we were lying.
Bottle Brew doesn't know if his front is holding up yet and just like darts over at Jedda like, what the fuck are you doing? Shut the fuck up. And then looks back over.
Okay. Leonda, I'm going to have to ask you to leave this room and never speak of anything ever again.
Of anything ever again.
The elven woman nods.
A vow of silence.
They finally shut you up.
Runs out of the room there. Zula says, okay, Captain, let me show you what I've got. The thing that's kept me safe all these years. Guards, would you wait outside, please? She goes over to the door behind her, behind the table, and opens it. And it goes into like a bed chamber. Inside this room, it's actually very, compared to the rest of the casino, it's very modestly furnished. And instead of a bed, it's actually just like a hammock. Maybe something like a relic of the past or something, like clinging to her old lifestyle.
It's like a sex swing.
Sure. No, that's not canon.
Okay.
She opens.
I don't know. The people here seem to like it.
She motions everybody into the room and starts opening up a safe inside of her room there.
Okay.
The safe swings open, and yeah, you see, there's a shit ton of gold there. But instead, she reaches past it and pulls out a scroll. And then, motioning back into the other room, she unrolls a giant map of the Badlands. And this map, it looks like your typical map that Bottle Brew had kept on the Liberty that you guys have been kind of adding like piecewise notes to before, except with one very important detail. You can see little boats actually moving on the page through the waters on the map, and you can see like the names of like little ships as they're kind of sailing through, and you can see a large cluster of ships around the island of Feldrum. This is how I do it. I made a deal with a certain Mage Lord Captain back in the day, after I helped you, I would...
Bang, bangity bang.
No. The Mage Lords said that they would look the other way on my operations and gave me this map. And in exchange, they can basically take all the money that they want from this.
This is an incredibly valuable tool. This is unbelievable.
And Bottle Brew is going to start studying this extremely closely.
You won't believe the efforts that other people have gone to try to steal this.
Listen, hijinks aside, you can rest assured I will not utter a word of this particular asset to the folks around, but I have to ask. You have all of this at your disposal, and yet you're running a sham operation that feeds off the victimized souls here in the Badlands?
I mean, how victimized can they be? They're like rich gambling addicts.
They're not rich.
The people down here, but did you see what I saw upstairs?
Yeah.
People's very souls are bleeding out onto the floor.
It's like you said before, it's my ass or theirs. If why capture one pirate when the Mage Lord should capture the coin purses of the whole sea?
Real quick, Matt or Ryan, I'm assuming you guys might know, what's the range of a sending stone?
Range, unlimited.
Unlimited, okay. Then Bottle Brew is just going to say,
obviously, we cannot risk taking this with us if we are going to be braving the waters filled with these ships. But,
and he extends the sending stone to Zula Ragnor.
If you would like, perhaps you can join some noble pursuits once again and help us attain our goals to stop the Mage Lords from advancing even further into our lives.
So, what, do I just become the other end of this map? Or the other end of this, stone here? I'm not sure what you would want from me.
Well, I mean, I think he would want you to, he would contact you with the stone and be like, hey, what does the map say? And you're like, well, the map, it says the Mage Lords are here, here, and here, so you want to go here. Or
the caterer pretty much nailed it. And in return, as a reward for your good faith, I believe that I would be comfortable saying perhaps we can be friendly once again, and the Liberty and her many allies can come to your aid if needed. The Mage Lords...
Bottom Brood, stop trying to get in her pants.
Oh my good lord, I cannot stand the new friends that you have made. Okay, listen, you and I once operated on the understanding that what the Mage Lords are doing is evil and people needed to stop them. If their network grows stronger, why shouldn't ours too?
You know what? Fuck it. I'm in.
That's very good, because I'll tell you what right now, nobody upstairs had a fucking idea what was coming through this stone. I'm glad that we got that worked out.
And he starts cackling and slaps her on the shoulder.
Don't say that out loud.
So here's the funny thing about sending stones. Mm-hmm. You actually have to use an action to cast the sending spell, and Bottle Brew didn't turn it on.
That I absolutely fucking believe. 100%. 100%.
That's beautiful, because we established this at the beginning of all this, that he's bad with these things. That's amazing.
Okay, so Bottle Brew, you hand her the sending stone. Okay, well, I guess you'll be in touch.
Things are certainly moving. We may have need for assistance from a friend like you, and I promise you will probably need assistance from friends like us. People like coworkers, like acquaintances, like people that know each other like us.
And then Bottle Brew, unless Zula has anything else to say, is probably just going to turn and leave.
Yeah, that's fine. So you guys make your way. Does anybody else have anything they want to add to say to the captain?
A++.
So
she rolls her eyes and gives you a gold coin.
And I just meekly raise my hand, so now that we've got this all, I am indeed with them.
Oh, really?
Yeah. Yes. Also, the other thing is I'm not actually the caterer. I just look a lot like her for reasons that are too complicated to get into.
Okay, well, honestly, I've heard stranger things. Well, if you ever decide to go make your acquaintance with the real caterer, I'd take a look around Averon, just between you and me.
No, that's really helpful. Thank you so much. Though I was playing a ruse, I do appreciate getting to know you. I think you're a cool lady.
Oh, bless your heart, honey.
Bottle Brew is going to lean over to Kalt and say,
Is she trying to fuck her? What's going on there?
Oh my god, you can't flip the script. Don't even try.
Like, all right.
goes upstairs.
I assume that you're going to snag that sending stone from the Mr. Drunk guy at the bar?
100%. Snatch that, put it in my pocket.
As you guys make your way back up the stairs to the deck, you guys hear a lot of commotion from the other side of the boat. Night has fallen, and you see a bunch of fireworks start to go off into the air, celebrating something. I don't really know, but I thought fireworks sounded cool. Also, it starts raining gabagool. You're welcome. The end. Colin, take over.
Okay. All right. Everybody following Bottle Brew through the celebratory fireworks. Bottle Brew is actually going to lean over to one of the staff on the deck of the Seafoam Glow and ask,
Do you know what all these fireworks are for?
and Matt, I'll let you roleplay this character of your
Fuck
creation.
me. Well, it's a celebration of good times and good fortune.
Oh, is this just something that happens every Flurms Day?
Sure, yes. Would you like some gabagool to go? We have so much of it, and we need to get rid of it.
I would love some. Can I, in fact, fill the pockets of this here vest with the gabagool?
Here, just take this box. Like, you're a strong guy. Here's a whole crate. You get a whole box full of gabagool.
Oh, man. I'm going to immediately open it and start eating it.
Yeah, you eat that.
Oh, this reminds me of my previous employment. And I just start looking around side-eye like nobody has questions.
Nope.
Oh my god.
Just leave me to my meat.
Maeve comes over and she's like, "Hey guys, how's everything going?"
It went better than expected. I learned to expect from this crew in particular, explosions, death, horrifying big monsters, but all in all, it went pretty okay. Reunited with old friends, things of that sort. How have you held things down here on the ship?
Well, I tried to start a gambling ring, but Dennis shut that down really quick.
Okay, I think you and Dennis are going to have another talk about the ground rules on this particular vessel. Everybody, let's go!
And Bottle Brew gestures to the Liberty and tries to lead you all there. Whether you go with him is totally up to you. Unless you guys just, I don't know, want to gamble or steal more meat. The night is yours.
I found a hole
I did not
here.
steal. It was given to me.
Oh, okay, fine. You were given meat, but you could take more. I don't know.
Gosh.
You guys let me know what you would like to do, and I'll pick up from there.
It's a carte blanche of meat.
Yes. Maeve, as a gambling inspector, I will have to look upon your game to see if it is equitable and equal.
You put cats in bags.
Equitably and equally. Come. Show me to your vault. This worked last time.
As everybody makes their way back to the Liberty, Dennis stands up by some of the crew people up by the steering wheel on the far end of the ship.
So I make sure to wait. There is one thing I want to do. Sorry to interrupt. I will make sure I grab Jerry.
Yep. Otherwise, I totally would have left him behind.
Yeah, that's a great call.
I'm like they're pulling the gangplank. I'm like, oh, no. I see Jerry on the other side with a bunch of drinks in his hands.
I would like you to make an athletic check on Jerry's behalf as he tries to make it to the gangplank as the ship slowly pulls away.
Oh, that's not going to work out for Jerry. That's rude.
Oh, it might, based on what I just rolled.
Oh, he has a +1, 7 to athletics.
As Bottle Brew is smirking, getting his subtle revenges against you for your condescensions, the ship slowly pulls away, but not before Jerry does get his feet on the gangplank. He does make it on without incident, but there is a bit of a skip in your heartbeat as Jerry is dangled over the churning ocean beneath you.
Oh, and Jerry even brought me a drink, and I'm going to Start sipping some champagne.
There was skin in that champagne. I doubt Kalt cares or tastes it.
Honestly, it adds. It's like putting a strawberry in your champagne or raspberries.
The skin brings out the sweet.
Yes.
Bottle Brew is going to turn to Dennis very quickly and hand them the sending stone and say,
Could you actually do me a favor and activate this? I made a bit of a... We don't need to talk about it. If you could just turn this on, it would be appreciated.
And Bottle Brew is going to turn to the rest of the crew as the Liberty pulls away from the seafoam glow and drifts further into the open waters, isolated from other vessels. Now, this is the first moment we've had to decompress in quite a bit here. I know that we had some downtime that you were sailing that we didn't cover, but right here, I think it's a good time to take stock of what you've just been through in terms of making plans with Tony Lyons, of getting stuck in the time loops on Arianor, witnessing the death of Lema, and before you can even get that all sorted out, you're thrown right into a casino heist. And here we are with a moment to orient yourselves before we continue. So Bottle Brew does step over to the four of you, Jedda, Locke, Kalt, and Maeve, and says,
Well, we seem to have the information we were looking for. We can safely make it to Feldrum to... what? To recruit another god into our midst, assuming we figured out how to move forward after Arianor. I suppose, me being at your disposal, I should lean on you. Where to next?
Well, I say we get to Feldrum, but if we can make a detour, does anyone know where Aberon is? I'm kind of curious to actually meet myself.
Bottle Brew starts laughing pretty loud. It's like,
Ma'am, we are on the northeastern quadrant of the Badlands here, or north of Arianor. Just to give you an idea, Averone is straight south, like hundreds of miles. It's not a detour. That is a different journey. So we, unfortunately...
How was I supposed to know? I'm from a place where there is no Badlands. It's just old land.
Listen, I don't know what you know. Apologies. Averone is not a detour kind of location. It's a series of highlands in the far south. It is more temperate, which is why you typically see these kinds of operations coming from there, food and the like. But unless our mission takes us to the south of the Badlands, we're not going to be in sailing range anytime soon.
Duly noted. In that case, I guess our priority should be getting to Feldrum, so I guess we're going north.
And what do we do when we get there?
I could go see if Serafina wants to hang out or, do something.
Hopefully she's not dead as well.
I'm gonna...
Wait, hold on, excuse me, what do you mean dead as well?
Don't worry about it.
Well, I'm kind of worried about it. Just put my life on the line, manipulating an old compatriot about to sail through a group of Mage Lord ships. What the hell do you mean dead as well?
I think you'll be okay. Probably.
All right. Since you guys stressed a sort of existential import to your mission, I've been content to go along with this, but I'm afraid I'm going to need some answers. What is it that we're looking to do? And, can we actually do it? Because you're not selling me very hard right now.
Come on, guys. Can we tell them? I feel like if we're all on the same page, we'd be better off a little bit.
I mean, honestly, at this point, I need somebody to tell me.
Bottle Brew keeps looking at you guys like hands in the air. If you guys as players need me to help fill in blanks, that's fine, but Bottle Brew is waiting for you to say something.
I mean, if no one's saying anything, I'll tell them. On our time on Nar and Yao, that's the place, I guess their time.
The island inside that tear in the middle there.
Yeah. So we learned about, the creation of the Badlands and how it all turned out to be from, from the Mage Lords trying to kill a god, but what they ended up doing was splitting that god into three. The plan for us was to gather these three pieces of the god and bring them together, and then maybe that god could, help us, because full power god, that sounds pretty helpful. We know where one of the god one of the pieces are. It's in Naranyal, in the little island in the Dare. We went to Arianor to find Lema, the other piece. Turns out Lema's dead. We know Seraphina is in Belgium.
Excuse me, hold on, what? How do you kill a god? How do you split a god? What are you talking? Okay. How do you know for sure Lema's no longer with us?
She told us. It's weird.
How could she tell you if she's dead?
Kind of like asking a lot of the confused questions that you guys were when speaking with Lema.
Time doesn't work the way we as living creatures think. So
These are gods of time, by the way.
Time is a flat circle, man.
the gods can see things that are happening to us in different times all at once.
And so now, in the absence of Lema, you hope to call upon the benevolence of Seraphina to perhaps, stop the Mage Lord plans for... I mean, they seem to have a status quo here in the Badlands. I don't know what goes on inside that tear, but do you happen to know what it is we're even stopping?
Well, here's the thing, right? So, this is where my weird backstory comes in. See, I didn't know the Badlands existed until, I met these guys. See, I'm from a different reality in which there is no Badlands, but we're stuck in the tear regardless, because I guess the inner tear is still a thing. It's weird.
Bottle Brew scratches his head and he says,
Then perhaps the Mage Lords aren't looking to maintain the status quo after all. But without Lema, without her purview over time itself, I don't know that the other spirits of this place could stop them from trying again. Do you...
Honestly, we kind of have, after we find Seraphina, we kind of have to wing it. Because, yeah.
Okay, here I thought we were talking about they were going to deploy a new set of armies, but god-killing is a scope that I did not really think about.
Yeah, no, I should have put this. Where I'm from, the original Emperor Kaiser, he's still there, and I imagine if he found a way out of the tear, he would really... things would be really bad for everyone who isn't like him. So...
damned if I understand what the hell's going on, but that's certainly believable, persuasive from what I've seen. Now, you may have heard Zula let slip that I was once aligned with the Mage Lord Collective. Your old friend Edmund and I share a lineage to the realm of Ilian, and I was, unfortunately, conscripted as a young age to join the ranks of the Mage Lords as they made their way through the mainland. The tear, obviously, being a boundary I never crossed until I decided it was time to get out. I was never high enough ranked to be privy to all of their particular machinations. But I did allude to a former captain, and I believe that they may be able to shed some light based on what you've told me just now.
and Bottle Brew turns around and beckons for Dennis from the landing on the top of the ship. As Dennis slowly makes their way down to the group,
Wait, is Dennis the former captain?
Bottle Brew puts his hand on the shoulder of Dennis and says,
I suppose it is an appropriate time, in light of your confessions to me, to introduce you to the true captain of the Liberty.
No, that checks out.
Captain, I believe things are getting a little complicated, and we could use your insight.
Dennis nods, gestures at the helm, and says, listen to that sending stone, lay in a course for Feldrum, avoiding Zula's instructions. Let's have a conversation about where we're going next.
Just 1 second. I just want to confirm that the competent one, though, the one that always seemed to have answers and, did the smart and right thing, is the captain? Like, wink, 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 wink. Interesting. Big surprise. Look at me. Oh, Jerry, did you know? Oh, my God. Jerry knew evidently.